Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. So if you will have a seat, we'll crank it up.
Good morning. I'm Marla Acreage. My name is Katrina Keith.
David Ferris.
Jane Henderson.
I'm Dean Fale. I'm President and CEO of the Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce.
I'm the Economic Development Director for the Allegheny Highlands in Allegheny County, Virginia. I am the Mayor of the City of Ironton. We are about 11,000 strong.
We're out of buildings, we're out of people, we're out of housing.
I don't think our company has ever faced the kinds of problems we have now with workforce.
So we are trying to re-identify ourselves, rebrand ourselves, and see what direction that we're wanting to go.
The thoughtfulness of what y'all said was great. I want you to think about something. We got through the whole room and new issues were coming up at every table. We have an aging workforce, we have lower participation rates, we have declining mobility, we have declining fertility. The skill mismatches are real and nobody thinks they can find people with the right skill. We're having to deal with big issues and small issues that make our heads explode and our communities challenged. So what? That's sort of the real question, right? So what? When we look at workforce, what we find, yes, there's lots of issues. They're out there, they're complex, they're hard. You're dealing with them every day. There are also lots of people doing things that work. And if we can scale them and we can learn from each other, can we solve everything? No, not tomorrow. But can we deal with things and make them better? Yeah.
You know, we've spent the last 5 years on the road seeing towns like yours, the last 6 months going city by city by city around the country in gatherings like this. One trait that we would reinforce in your work is that this is a long process and get everybody involved for that.
So they got together, the engineers in the school system, and decided to build in a very distressed part of town the A.J. Wittenberg Elementary School of Engineering. And this elementary school of engineering for kids pre-K through about grade 5, the idea that they would go into a distressed part of town, build a great school, that completely worked, and that they would, along the way, build up their workforce from the very early levels to have relevant positions in that town that really worked for everybody.
We had to change the perception of manufacturing in our region. And when industrialists or when a student looks in the window of a training facility, they need to see relevant technology. They need to see something that looks like there's a future in this for me, that encourages them. What happens if we train all these students and they move elsewhere? Well, what if you don't train them and they stay?
We opened 4 years ago with a pilot base of 200 kids. If you walk in the door today, there are a little over 1,300 kids in this campus, grades 6 through 12. If I were to tell our kids they could walk in with just an 11-week on-the-job training program and start making $23,000, $24,000 plus benefits, that's more than a lot of their parents make. You think about that. With just a couple of years of education, they're walking out making $54,000, $55,000 a year starting. By the way, with no college debt.
You know, we started with asking ourselves, you know, how do we get from where we are to there? So we came up with the concept that we're going to move kind of full forward with having a workforce development summit in our community, to where we're going to bring some of these bold ideas to the table, and we're going to ask Joe's question and say, what does this look like in our community? So we envision having, as part of our comprehensive downtown revitalization, how do we move forward effort of going, what would it look like if we had an innovation center downtown Lancaster? And that included components of Joe's model in Arkansas. It included components from the Danville Innovation Center, and we brought that all together and we said, hey school district, hey community college, hey York Tech, how do you guys play in this world? You've already got dual credit offerings, but what if we put that Danville model right beside Joe's model, right in the middle of our downtown with our college and technical college right there? So I don't know if I helped at all with the discussion here, but that's kind of where we're going, and that's why we came. So thank y'all for having us. So
In our office, that's referred to as answering the so what question.
Perfect.